I am Portia Gabor.
And my name is Paa Kwesi Asare. And coming up in the next 60 minutes.
News 360 Headlines is brought to you by
Flamingo Paint,
Pepsodent Charcoal and Pepsodent Herbal.
Calls for a full-scale forensic audit into Ghana's voters register barely 24 hours after the Electoral Commission stated it had detected illegal voter transfer.
As Ghana's water bodies remain polluted by illegal miners, legislators trade accusations on which party allowed Galamsey to thrive.
Also coming up in the bulletin, death of high school students sparks concerns of possible negligence on the part of authorities as investigations begin.
Coming up in business news, cocoa farmers warn of risk to Ghana's cocoa sector amid discontent over 45% farm gate price.
And on the international front, Ugandan athlete battling for her life after she was set ablaze by her boyfriend. We've got details of all these stories and many more coming up in the next 60 minutes. Remember, we're streaming live on Facebook. We're also live on your DSTV channel 279. You can join us with your views, comments, and suggestions on any of our top stories this hour. Feel free to visit any of our social media pages on Facebook and on X. This is your election command center. The minority leader in Parliament, Dr. Kesel Atuforsen, has demanded that a forensic audit be conducted into the Electoral Commission's voter register database, indicating the register is riddled with irregularities. But the majority leader, Alexander Afenyomarkin, has urged his colleague to be mindful of partisan comments regarding the election body.
It's the first day of the two-day extraordinary meeting of Parliament at its makeshift chamber at the Dome. The Speaker, Alban Bagbin, in his opening remarks, urged MPs to desist from abusing Article 112 of the Constitution, which compels speakers to recall members from their recess. He says he recalled the House based on 3 motions.
A 250 million IDA financing agreement, some tax waivers, and 3, a possible reconsideration of a decision of the House on an earlier item that was taken on the 30th of July 2024.
In his remarks on the floor, the minority leader, Dr. Kesel Atuforsen, expressed reservations about the Electoral Commission, but the majority leader, Alexander Afenyomarkin, called for calm.
The Electoral Commission has admitted that the voter register is riddled with irregularities and flaws. I dare say, Mr. Speaker, the scale of these irregularities is such that someone may have tampered with the voter register database. Mr. Speaker, I'm sorry to say that we cannot vouch for the integrity of the voter register as it stands at the moment. The details of these irregularities are so fatal and cannot be accepted. We therefore demand a forensic audit into the voter register database.
I would want to plead with my respected colleagues to say that the Electoral Commission's register for the 2024 election is not credible, it's very rich. Where we identify challenges, let's take these challenges on board. Let's not attack the Electoral Commission and erode the confidence that people have in the Electoral Commission and our democracy.
Issues of the Electoral Commission were of concern to other MPs.
There's been happenings in my Tamale South constituency of an easy transfer of voters from Tamale South to Pusiga. Maybe the committee responsible for the Electoral Commission or your good self may want to invite her, Mr. Speaker, the Electoral Commission has 75,000 biometric devices which will be used for purpose of conducting the presidential and parliamentary elections on December 7th. Mr. Speaker, those biometric devices, we have to subject it to some technical audit. One, to know the state of their batteries. Two, the state of their adapters. Three, the state of their readiness for elections on 7th December.
We have done some background work, and we have realized that there is more than people think is happening. When we heard the information at first, it was about 26 people, Mr. Speaker. When we went to the ground, straightforward, we had about 32 people, Mr. Speaker, and there are thousands that are being reported at other places. This isn't just a mistake.
The clerical errors contained on the forms, Mr. Speaker, the Electoral Commission must take urgent steps to correct them. Otherwise, if colleague contestants sign off with those declarations, they'll be digging their own graves. For instance, paragraph 11 under part 4 of the parliamentary nomination forms, it is stated that I declare that I am disqualified as a registered voter under all related laws in this country.
Mark Ewuzi-Aku is the convener of Election Watch Ghana. He joins us on the line for further deliberations on this matter. Thank you, sir, for your time. The Electoral Commission maintains the current register is credible. Should we not trust that the wait for it to go? Should we not trust that the Electoral Commission will go through this process well ahead of the polls?
Let me say a very good evening to you and to your cherished listeners and viewers as well. I think that the Electoral Commission's decision to sideline and do away with the tweet is very questionable. And to me, that will erode the little trust that the Ghanaian people have in the Electoral Commission. If you recall, last day, some equipment from the Commission got missing, and the election was done and came out specifically to say that these equipment are in the hands of some unscrupulous people using it to register individuals, and at the end of the day, transfer them into or onto some of the constituencies for them to also vote. In fact, the Electoral Commission came out to dispel such allegation, and today, what we said in the past has come to bear, that there are many people who do not qualify, and there are many people who, even after we are done with transfer, the Commission is still transferring people. The Commission, again, have come out clearly to admit that there are errors within the register. And just me, if there are errors in the register, how then do we charge the Electoral Commission that they can do a proper job? The errors that the Electoral Commission is not just an error, but a deliberate error, just to erode the trust and the confidence the Ghanaian people have in them.
So are you one of those who will prescribe for an independent audit of the biometric register?
We have asked for an audit into the register long ago when we wrote to the Right to Information to give us details of the Electoral Commission's biometric registration kits, just so that we can be able to monitor the machines that are being used to register people during the limited voters registration and then during the mop-up. Unfortunately, the RTI and the Electoral Commission came together and did not heed to our call. We think that this is settlement to our democracy, and it is a blatant slap as far as democracy is concerned.
Thank you very much, Mark Ewuzi-Aku, is convener of Election Watch Ghana. Join us for further deliberations on this latest development. Thank you, sir.
Let's now go to the Upper East region, where more than 1,500 women are said to be involved in illegal mining activities in Bani in the Galamsey district, without the fear of the risk associated with illegal mining. Our Upper East regional correspondent, Tanko Mohammed Rabiu, who spent some time in the mining community, reported that the women, despite the risk, still prefer to engage in these activities for survival.
Women in the northern part of Ghana are known for their selflessness and hard work in the area of farming, petty trading and support services in small-scale mining. But this is different in the talented districts where women of different levels have taken it upon themselves to directly engage in unregulated mining activities from ore sampling, crushing, grinding, washing and gold separation. Before now, these women engaged in selling of food items and other consumables to the miners, but with time, the women realized the financial outcomes and benefits in mining. Some women are co-sponsored of illegal mining pits with men for the ore for further processing. These women work under heavy health risks, especially working with ore dust without any protective wears during grinding and crushing processes, but are only concerned about the financial results. Some of the women spoke to our news team on what motivated them to engage in these activities.
Those of us who do not have formal education can only make good use of our lives here. And some of us are orphans and no one to look after us. So this work is good to us, though there are health risks.
Most of these women are widows and single parents who have been neglected and dejected, but have now found a new home in the mining community in a bid to make ends meet.
And the issue of Galamsey and its negative effect took center stage on the floor of Parliament, with some MPs accusing each other of causing more damage to Ghana's water bodies. Other issues of national concern took the attention of MPs who had returned to consider specific issues.
To ensure that anybody, whether you are a religious person, you are a traditional person, you are a politician, you are a flag bearer or an MP who politicizes Galamsey operations in this country, this House must take action on that person.
By tomorrow, the minister should appear before Parliament to brief us what they are doing to address these serious problems. We all know now there is water shortages all over in Ghana, particularly in Kumasi, particularly in Mensia, where the running mate of MPP is coming from.
If we are to look and investigate, you polluted the water more than us. You polluted the water more than us.
I would want to urge all of us to pursue this matter and not make those civil society organizations helpless. It's a serious matter, Mr. Speaker. It is a serious matter. And we know desalination is very expensive. Are we now going to process seawater to drink? It will cost the nation.
Now, Parliament could not agree to rescind a decision it took on July 30 in respect of a disapproval of the Finance Committee report on the $250 million financing agreement between Ghana government and the International Development Association for the Energy Sector Recovery Program. The minority side complained they had not been engaged on the new development concerning the loan agreement, compelling the Speaker to refer the matter to the Finance Committee for consideration and report.
It's one of the reasons members of Parliament were recalled back from recess, but an agreement could not be reached when the item was taken on the floor.
The Finance Committee was never engaged, leading to this motion to rescind. And the majority leader was very categorical that on the basis of the conversations that took place, he engaged the Finance Committee. And so our position is quite simply that the decision taken by this House must stand, and we are opposed to any refusal.
To assume that we disapproved of this motion solely because of what Honorable Muntaka said, for me is flawed. It could be one of several reasons, a multiplicity of reasons, an array of reasons leading to the rejection of this motion. And so even if you bring something that satisfies Honorable Muntaka, with the greatest of respect, you've not satisfied that of Honorable John Jinapo. Neither have you satisfied that of Honorable Akando in particular. who raised a very serious issue as far as this whole agreement is concerned. Mr. Speaker, the right thing to do, and they know the right thing to do. The House has rejected this application. You have fresh information today. Relay it, refer it to the Finance Committee, would immediately do justice to the issue, and then we will bring a report to the floor for consideration.
The Speaker had to refer the matter to the Finance Committee for consideration and report to the House on September 4. Evelyn Tinkma, TV3 News, Parliament House.
And away from Parliament, the tragic death of Edward Kwesi Asare, a final year student of O'Reilly Senior High School, has sparked outrage and renewed scrutiny over the alleged negligence of school authorities. Edward, who was fatally stabbed by a fellow student on campus, was reportedly left unattended to until other students intervened to transport him to a nearby health facility, where he died. This latest incident adds to a growing list of student fatalities, raising urgent concerns about safety in senior high schools.
Students in several senior high schools across the country have sparked intense debate over alleged negligence by school authorities, leading to the tragic deaths of students. This disturbing trend has raised serious concerns about the responsibilities of school leaders to ensure the well-being of their students, prompting urgent calls for greater accountability and improved health care in educational settings. On February 5 this year, a first-year student at a Brick Girls Senior High School in the Eastern region lost their life after allegedly being denied medical attention by the school nurse. The nurse reportedly accused her of feigning illness. Just a week earlier, the parents of Kesta Vaji, a 19-year-old student at the Kimswedro Senior High School, claimed that the school management had refused to grant their son permission to seek medical help, ultimately leading to his death on February 1. Kesta was reportedly told he did not appear ill enough to warrant an excusal. On February 20 this year, a 17-year-old student at Kalpohin Senior High School died after the senior housemaster allegedly failed to provide timely medical assistance. Now, fellow students who witnessed their peer vomiting at the school entrance attempted to alert the housemaster on 2 occasions before finally taking the student to the hospital. Unfortunately, it was too late. In another heartbreaking incident, Theophilus Ansa, a final year science student at Ghana National College in Cape Coast, passed away following a brief illness. His family has alleged that negligence by school authorities contributed to his untimely death. The most recent case involves the death of Edward Kwesi Asare, a final year student at O'Reilly Senior High School. Now, Edward was reportedly stabbed multiple times by a fellow student on campus. Allegations suggest that Edward lay in a pool of blood for well over 20 minutes in the presence of teachers before other students arranged to transport him to the nearest health facility. Edward was pronounced dead on arrival. His cousin, who is also a final year student, described the painful experience.
Yes, what was and they said is Godwin and Edward, they are fighting. And what the fight about? And they said, oh, it's nothing serious. But the whole thing was like, oh, you, what do you have? Oh, me, I have this, oh, me, I have that. A few minutes, and the guy, the Godwin guy came, and he was like, you want your brother. If you don't want your brother's blood will flow in my hands. So there are teachers in the school. And so when the incident, when the chaos was starting, my brother ran to the teachers. The teachers were sitting under the tree. That's in the school compound.
What was happening? And your uncle was not around. By the time he went back inside, that was when he heard he was stabbed.
Yes. That was when he was stabbed. So I need to rush, give my bag to my friend. I rushed to the hospital. That was when I started calling my big My brother has been stabbed in the school, so we should not take it. But they saw him lying down. They didn't say anything, no teacher. No, even no teacher followed us.
Well, Edward's father, Enoch Saki, says all they want are answers.
The school authority have not said anything from yesterday up to now. The police have not caught. The school authority have not caught. Even the boy who killed my son, neither the family have even reached me. That's why we are here to seek for justice for my son. We want access from the school. From the school authority.
The parent of the boy.
And the parent of the boy. And the police. What happened? I just want to know what happened. To the extent of leading to a student stabbing his friend.
Is that such a punishment?
That's all we want. We want the justice. And we want the school authority to explain to us. Either the teachers are not at the school and it happened, or they are there and it happened, or they don't care. That is all we want.
So far, efforts to reach the school authorities have proved futile. Noble Crosby-Ann, TV3 News, Accra.
In other news tonight, the Ghana National Fire Service is unable to provide timelines as to when the Makola-Zongo Lane fire will be completely doused, bringing their level of proactiveness under scrutiny. Although portions of the storage warehouse have caved in, there are fears the rest could also go down. My colleague George Quenin has more.
We are here at the scene more than 48 hours after fire gutted this storage warehouse, and firemen are still here in their numbers trying to control the situation, and police visibility is quite high, blocking access to the building. I'm sure you're wondering why, after more than 48 hours, this very inferno has not been completely doused. The Ghana National Fire Service is doing its ultimate best to bring the inferno under control, and that is evinced in the reinforcement of personnel and fire tenders. The prolonged inferno has left many questioning the proactiveness of the fire service. Some residents fear it might even extend to their structures if not managed on time. Assistant Divisional Officer Grade 1 Alex Kenate is a member of the PR department of the service.
If we commit more men to go in, we might be facing a major casualty rate. So we are using other measures to fight the fire. But unfortunately, due to the lack of safety precautions or lack of safety consideration taken into the building of this place, it becomes a one-way in, one-way out thing. So there are no alternative routes to help us fight the fire.
There's still fire raging in the building. This is an exclusive opportunity that has been granted me by the fire service, and so this is how the side of the building looks like, and there are fears that the front part might also cave in just like this. But a reason they cannot advance is the fact that if they put in more water or weaken the structure, which will collapse further. And so what they are doing now is waiting for it to cool, and so they proceed with their next line of action. It is evident it will take a while for personnel to bring the inferno under total control. There have been 3 separate fire incidents recorded in the last 7 days. George Quenin, TV3 News, Makola, Accra.
The Greater Accra Regional Minister Titus Glover, meanwhile, says government will not compensate traders for the destruction so far.
Government cannot take any responsibility in this. This is a personal decision of those who have these properties that has been destroyed. So they have to take their own responsibility to their hands. Government cannot, and I repeat, cannot. The very people who have caused this, we know them. In other jurisdiction, they will be charged for that negligence of what they have done. But for now, I just don't want to take the wind out of the sail. The chief officer himself is here, his regional commander is here, and the rest of the team. The focus now is how we can bring this fire down and extinguish it entirely. Any other thing can be looked into it.
In other news tonight, the flag bearer of the National Democratic Congress, John Mahama, is cautioning government not to share the 500 million cedis dry spell recovery funds to party members instead of affected farmers. Government, through the Ministry of Finance, is seeking to expend the amount at cushioning farmers directly affected by the dry spell, as well as banning the exportation of grains.
Parliament reconvened on Tuesday with the government seeking the support of both sides of the House to get the approval of some 500 million cedis for distribution to farmers who have been affected by the dry spell that's impending. Whilst the consideration is still in the process, John Mahama, campaigning in the Bono East region, specifically the Kintampo South constituency, says the NDC's eagle eyes are on government in the distribution of these resources to the affected farmers.
There will be that COVID time.
We know this government's history when it comes to sharing funds. When grants were given to them to relieve the general public during the COVID era, the monies were given to NPP party chairmen, women organizers and party loyalists. This time around, we will be very vigilant and hold them accountable for every penny they spend.
John Mahama, soliciting the vote of the constituents, spoke against the politicization of the DRIP project.
When I was coming, I saw them branding graders with their party colors. The graders belong to Ghanaians, not the MPP, and are not financed by the party. If you see any party posters on these graders, you have the prerogative to remove them.
Shortly thereafter, John Mahama moved to the Pru East constituency. He assured the people that the NDC will stand up and improve the lives of many of the constituents.
Well, who say, Ojain Nantia, Osonobadi Nechida, Ojain Neba and Echo, Etiotuma Jema, Meba and
only renewable time coming back, serve the people. The expectation from the NDC is that Jama will reach
of the state interest
losses between 2019 and 2023 include Ghana Cylinder Marketing Company Limited, Ghana National Procurement Agency GNPA Limited, Ghana Water Company Limited, and Tema Oil Refinery.
They are also the ones that make a lot of the losses because of the space they find themselves. So you can see companies like ECG, Ghana Water have not only the financial or profit-making function, they also have a function that ensures that the citizenry also benefit from the services that they provide. And you can see that clearly, that it is because of some of those services that they provide that lead to these losses that they make.
On the contrary, 6 state-owned companies, Bui Power Authority, ESLA PLC, Ghana National Gas Company Limited, Ghana Infrastructure Investment Fund, State Housing Company Limited, and TDC Company Limited have recorded consistent profits within the same 5 years period.
So even though the revenue are increasing over the years, the expenditure are also increasing. What can we do to effectively hold on to the increasing expenditure whilst also increasing the revenue? I think that it's positive for us. We want to get you, the media, as our partners to help in throwing more light on the activities of these entities.
However, 10 state-owned enterprises recorded mixed profitability trend between the year 2019 and 2023. These include the Ghana Port and Harbours Authority with a loss of over 121 million cedis for the year 2023 and GIHOC 25.6 million cedis respectively.
I would not understand why the government should establish an alcohol campaign.
when not all citizens drink alcohol. I wouldn't understand why government should, for example, own telecommunication, unless for security reasons. When I have been using MTN, private owned, and I'm okay. I'm talking about I. So if you invest my tax in telecom, then bring profit to me and make the road in front of my house better. Because that one is public goods.
The state ownership report is aimed at bringing transparency and accountability in corporate governance. SIGA, among other things, uses this report to account to the people of Ghana on how public assets and investment are managed over time.
A move to bolster government's drive at dealing with sanitation across the country. That's the verdict of Sanitation and Water Resources Minister Lydia Seriam Al-Hassan to Graphic Communications Group's Cleanest Region campaign initiative.
Lion Cleanest Region Ranking Initiative aims to support the national agenda to make Ghana a clean country. The campaign will rank all regions on proper waste management methods and general sanitation practices, which will attain a score of 60% by the assessment team as well as 40% votes from the general public. The Managing Director of Graphic Communications Group Limited, Atuafo, said proper waste management, green initiative and toilet management enhance the collective well-being of the population.
Ultimately, we aim to make a tangible difference in environmental health and our collective well-being at a consistent level. So it's not a touch and go. This is an initiative that through our channels and the partnerships that we have will continue to drive over the days and over the years to come. We believe that clean streets, parks and public spaces promote a feeling of pride and they attract more visitors and businesses.
While commending the initiative, the Member of Parliament for Ayawaso West Wogan said it was important for all stakeholders to come on board to address the sanitation challenge because government cannot do it alone.
As you all recall, His Excellency the President launched the National Sanitation Campaign on the 13th November 2017 and called on all Ghanaians to support the drive by playing their part in changing their attitude towards littering, open defecation, and open urination. I am happy to see a good number of companies and private sector institutions ready to play their parts and continue the siren, safe and healthy living, safe and healthy working environments we are all striving to achieve.
To vote for your community to be ranked the cleanest region, dial the short code *857*#.
Reminder, so watching News 360, our major news bulletin for the day. We go for a quick break. Michael Obodu standing by for the very latest in the world of business.
One bucket of Flamingo paint is equal to several buckets of any other paint brand on the market. Flamingo paint, superior durability, superior hiding, superior coverage. Flamingo paint, simply superior. You know, one bucket of Flamingo paint is equal to several buckets of any other paint brand on the market. Flamingo paint, superior durability, superior hiding, superior coverage. Flamingo paint, simply superior.
I love President Charcoal. Why?
When there are so many other charcoal toothpicks.
There's both charcoal and lemon.
Oh, does it?
Yes. Look right here.
Yes. Pepsodent Charcoal has two of nature's powerful whitening ingredients. With the power of activated charcoal and lemon essence, it removes stains and whitens teeth naturally.
Convinced?
Well, I am. Just look at your beautiful Pepsodent smiles. For naturally whiter teeth, Pepsodent Charcoal.
Pepsodent. Nana Musa, Omuhia, Benku, and the tilapia bako. Hey, crying.
Well, hello there. Good evening and welcome to the business segment here on News 360. I am Michael Obodu. Now, the Ghana National Cocoa Farmers Association has raised concerns over the future of the country's cocoa sector, warning of potential risk if the government doesn't go ahead with its plan to increase the farm gate price of cocoa by 45%. The Farmers Association expressed strong discontent, arguing that the proposed price hike could have significant financial implications for the industry as illegal mining continues to hamper the sector. Reuters has reported that Ghana plans to raise the state-guaranteed price paid to cocoa farmers by nearly 45% for the 2024-2025 crop season, aiming to boost farmers' incomes and curb bean smuggling. This follows a government decision in April to increase the farm gate price by more than 58% to 2,070 cedis per 64 kilogram for the remainder of the 2023-2024 season. However, the Ghana National Cocoa Farmers Association has expressed dissatisfaction with the new pricing.
We also see the global market prices and forest trade of the commodity. Cocoa price is far high. So if the government is increasing it and giving us 45% per the local rates, if not even to the global market price, then of course he's cheating the farmers. And of course, cocoa business will soon collapse. It will collapse because nobody will be interested of getting himself into the farming business because now there are so many tracks in the cocoa business.
Meanwhile, some economists have supported the push for higher farm gate prices, arguing that this would help offset the competitive advantage of illegal miners who currently offer more attractive prices per acre of cocoa land than farmers earn from cocoa beans.
I should say, government don't have all the income or the money to pay them higher than illegal miners. So generally, it will not solve the problem entirely, especially when the yield issues, climate issues, and diseases are also affecting farmers. So we are expecting a comprehensive program that will support farmers in addition to the increment of the prices.
Now, efforts are underway to enhance accountability within Ghana's insurance sector. The industry's umbrella body of professionals, CIIG, has revealed plans to publish a list of professionals in good standing, a move aimed at strengthening enforcement of ethical standards across the industry.
At the 2024 Insurance Excellence Awards in Accra, President of the Chartered Insurance Institute of Ghana, CIIG, Solomon Lati, highlighted a critical move aimed at reinforcing professionalism within the insurance industry. According to him, the publication of the database is expected to raise the bar for ethical conduct and professional standards.
The Institute has received the first tranche of membership certificates from the ORC following the successful listing of members in good standing in Government Gazette. This would reinforce the authority of the Professional Standards and Ethics Committee to effectively deal with practitioners who may fall short of the professional and ethical standards of the insurance profession.
Meanwhile, Insurance Professional of the Year and Managing Director of Enterprise Life Assurance, Jacqueline Benyi, entreated Ghanaians to buy insurance to cushion them during unforeseen emergencies.
Insurance is something everyone needs. Once you are born, you are faced with the double hazards of life. It's either you live long or you die early. These are all risks that you face, and therefore you need to have life insurance in your portfolio, your financial planning portfolio. It's very important.
In response to the recent surge in fire incidents affecting trading area. The Traders Advocacy Group Ghana TAG is effective prevention.
We are urging to adhere to the protocols and because our predicament, we are appealing to all traders that as we are about to enter the Hamatan, we should practice fire safety in the market and make sure that Ghana is safe and protecting what we have built. The recent fire in Kaswa, the recent fire at Zongo Lane is not a good sign for business people.
Now, Telecel Ghana has unveiled the 7th edition of its SME support program, continuing its commitment to empowering small and medium-sized enterprises across the country. Telecel has partnered with the Magdan Group to roll out an ambitious set of initiatives designed to connect businesses, empower women entrepreneurs, and foster innovation among Ghanaian SMEs.
This year's SME month, under the theme Connecting Businesses, Connecting the Woman in Business, is packed with a comprehensive suite of offers, rewards, business accelerators, networking and capacity building initiatives, some specifically targeted at women entrepreneurs to drive economic growth and innovation.
Every single transaction that you spend on our network today, irrespective of the service, whether it's internet, whether it's list line, whether it's wide area network service, whether it's prepaid, postpaid, everything that businesses spend on our network today, from today we start to give reward points for those. For the first time in Ghana, we'll be launching the Telecel Women in Business package. The purpose of the Women in Business package is to help businesses thrive, to help women entrepreneurs specifically to thrive in knowledge, in access, in tools, in resources.
In partnership with the Magdan Foundation, Telecel will be hosting an entrepreneurship challenge, providing a platform for innovative business ideas to be showcased and supported.
Telecel trying to move step ahead of their corporate social responsibility. We believe that partnering with them will be one of the good things that ever happened to this country. Well, what we look out for is impact.
With these initiatives, Telecel Ghana is poised to make a significant impact on the SME sector, particularly for women entrepreneurs, as they continue to drive economic growth and development in the country.
Well, that'll be all for the business segment here on News 360. I am Michael Obodu. Up next is sports.
Oreko is here with the latest in the world of sports, and it's all about the Black Stars.
Yes, as we're getting ready for Thursday. And so we'll head straight to Kumasi, where 22 Black Stars players arrived in Kumasi and trained at the Babayara Sports Stadium earlier on Tuesday ahead of the 2025 Africa Cup of Nations qualifiers against Angola. Akuma Sports journalist Richard Echampon watched the session and filed this report.
So we are here at the Kumasi Baba Yara Sports Stadium, where the Black Stars of Ghana are holding their first training session in Kumasi. And there are 22 players involved in this particular section. All the 3 goalkeepers are here. Remember, 2 players are yet to report to camp. And according to the communications director of the Ghana Football Association, Henry Asante-Chung, those 2 players are Jordan Pierre Ayew and Elisha Owusu, who are expected to land at the Kotoka International Airport at 10 p.m. tonight. And they will travel to Kumasi the next day to join the other colleagues in camp. The Black Stars are focusing on set pieces, corner kick situations, and then free kicks that is very close to the 18-yard box. And one thing is clear, Kudus Mohammed has been the person or the player taking all the free kicks. So I'm sure he's the first option when it comes to those dead ball situations very close to the 18-yard box. And he sent in some good in-swingers and the connection was there. Remember, the other players were also, the defenders especially, were supposed to stop the attackers from getting the ball, whilst the attackers were supposed to force to get those balls in there. So that has been it. Richard Champion, Akuma Sports, Kumasi.
Well, as was mentioned in the earlier report by Richard Echampon, Jordan Ayew will be joining training tomorrow and will be gladly welcomed by including Abdul Fattah Isaku, who recently became his teammate at Premier League side Leicester City. Isaku expressed his delight at Jordan's from Crystal Palace to the King Power Stadium during the summer transfer window.
Before I heard he was coming, I spoke with him and yeah, I was happy and it was amazing, and right now I'm happy. I have another brother in my team, and yeah, we do it together as always in the national team, and we are going to do it more in the team as well. You know, he's always a senior player, and I love playing with him, and he always guide and give you more advice, and even outside and inside the pitch. So I'm happy, and I think it's going to be easier for me playing with him both in the national team and club, and I'm so happy.
Well, before we go, let's just bring you the latest in the world of athletics, where Ugandan athlete Rebecca Cheptegei is in critical condition in a Kenyan hospital after allegedly being doused with petrol and set on fire by a former boyfriend. The 33-year-old marathon runner who competed at the recent Paris Olympics had suffered extensive burns. The doctor treating her said she was attacked at her home in Western Kenya, where she had been training. There are concerns about the increase in cases of violence against female athletes in Kenya, some of which have actually resulted in deaths. Well, that's how we're wrapping up the sports segment here on News 360. My name is Oreko Ampofo, and up next on the bulletin,
Entertainment News segment is powered by 3 Entertainment. Good evening and welcome to the Entertainment News segment. My name is Anita Ikia Ekufu, and legendary Ghanaian actress Grace Omabo, better known as Mami Dokno, has emphasized the importance of celebrating those in the arts for their invaluable contributions. In the world of Ghanaian entertainment, few names shine as brightly as Grace Omabo. She has captivated audiences for over 60 years with her exceptional talent and memorable performances.
With a
remarkable career spanning 6 decades, Grace Omabo, widely known as Mame Dokno, stands as one of Ghana's most esteemed actresses. A household name for many, Mame Dokno's influence is felt through her beloved program, By the Fireside, and numerous other television appearances.
Obra, then you go on, you see By the Fireside, how for 35 years I was imparting on children. Then you go to Odonia's
career milestones and her experience in politics.
But with me, I think what I should do is what I've done for them. And I hope those who will come after them will also learn about me, and they will never forget about Mame Dokno.
She emphasizes the importance of celebrating those in the arts for their invaluable contributions.
This is something that should be taken by the people in the arts, and then the government, and the country as a whole. They should celebrate them. I think that's when they will notice they once had very good musicians, very good actors, very good artists, like they do in America and the rest, you know. So that's all the advice that I'll give to the government to start to celebrate us.
Definitely a journey worth celebrating, and that brings us to the end of the Entertainment News segment. My name is Anita Ikuya. Have a good evening.
Thank you so much, Anita. Coming up, international news.
A Ugandan athlete is battling for her life at a Kenyan hospital after her former boyfriend set her alight. Rebecca was doused with petrol in the attack at her home in western Kenya. Police say the 33-year-old marathon runner who competed at the recent Paris Olympics suffered burns to more than 75% of her body. It is believed the two were fighting over a parcel of land Rebecca had bought and built a house. There are concerns about the increasing case of violence against female athletes in Kenya, some of which have resulted in death. A British man declared wanted by the Nigerian police force says he is baffled by the development. Andrew Wayne is accused alongside 9 others of planning to overthrow the government. Nigeria authorities say he had built up a network of sleeper cells to destabilize Nigeria and had to flee the country in the wake of last month's cost of living protests. Andrew told local media in Nigeria he was unaware of the accusations but was willing to speak to authorities. Police put 10 million naira, about $6,000 in bounty on Andrew and his Nigerian accomplice. 8 others accused of various roles are already in police custody. At least 12 people have been killed in a migrant boat accident in the English Channel. According to French authorities, about 70 people were on the overcrowded boats that capsized. 2 people remain missing, while several others are being treated for their injuries. This is considered the deadliest loss of life in the Channel this year. French officials say they are searching the area for survivors.
Well, that's how we conclude News 360. For more news, you can log on to our website. It's www.3news.com. My name is Paa Kwesi Asare.
And I am Portia Gabor. Do join Alfredo Cancer at 10 p.m. for Ghana Tonight. Good evening.